everyone, welcome to Nicole's Needlework. This is a podcast about stitching and knitting. Today is Sunday, December 8th, and it's right around 11 a.m. Let's see, I can be found on Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook, and other places as Nicole's Needlework, and my blog, nicolesneedlework.com, where I'll put all the show notes, links to everything on there. And usually I'll post a video. It's kind of hard to coordinate because I have to post the video and then put the video into the blog and then get all the show notes. And so usually the show notes will come later, the video first, show notes later. But I try as I finish things or work on things, I try to put them in the blog so it's ready to go, or buy things or anything. So it's almost ready to go by the time I do the video. So I don't have a lot to share. I think I have more to share than I thought I did because I have a pile over here. But I haven't really been stitching on many different things. I have mainly worked on my Ann Rayner sampler. And this is the, unfortunately, out of print sampler by Threads Through Time. And I'm getting close. I'm so excited. So a couple weekends ago, my dad came and was watching a lot of football. I love you, Dad. It was a lot of football. So during all that football watching, I finished all that grass and all those little over one sheep. So I decided to do the grass vertically because it was just easier to fill in those stitches around the sheep. It just worked out well. And I used two different dye lots. You can kind of tell here in the middle, it's a little more yellowy green, but it's okay. When you get back, you can't really tell too much because I was so worried I was gonna run out of, it's herb garden that I used there, and I was so worried I was gonna run out. So I'm really loving this, and I love Paulette's conversion. You can find that on her blog, Plum Street Samplers blog. She has that listed. So pretty. And this is 40 count vintage light exemplar by Lakeside Linens. Definitely one of my favorite linens. And I've already loaned the chart to someone, so sorry. But my threads are kind of a mess, but these are all the different silk threads that I'm using. Mainly Belle Soie, but there's MPI, Gloriana, some thread gatherer, but mainly Belle Soie. So I think I'm just gonna concentrate on this until it's done now. I'm loving it. So I was working on Ann Roberts on 46 count parchment with the 103 Alvera Soie silks, and I was liking it, kind of. The 46 count wasn't too bad to work on. The conversion they did wasn't quite right. The reds were off, and then the more I looked at the sampler, I'm like, it's pretty, but it's not, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it, and there were so many other things that I want to work on and want to start. So I ended up selling it. I sold the whole kit on Stash and Load, and I sold it to a friend, which turned out to be even better. Sorry, I feel like... so maybe in the future I'll get it again, but right now there's just other things I want to be stitching. So the other thing I actually end up restarting, and that is Mary Barr's sampler by Stacy Nash. I feel like I have a fuzzy or something. my cat, Ginger, I don't know if you can see. There's Ginger. Whoop, sorry. And there's Oreo. And I'm doing laundry, so bedroom's a mess. But Ginger really seems to be shedding, and I feel like I have fuzz or fur or something in my eye. Anyway, Mary Bars, 1829. And I ended up restarting it on 40 count. I was working on 36 count parchment, the fabric that came in the kit. And it wasn't bad. It's just the weave is very loose, and I really, really prefer 40 count. So I restarted it, and I really made it fit on this linen. I don't have a lot of border, but I think it'll be okay. I'll make it be okay. The only thing I'm not too happy about is this pink really is not showing up that well on this linen. And I'm trying to just be okay with it. It's really pretty though. This is Sand by Weeks Dye Works, that pink. So I'm trying not to be too picky. Like some samplers, threads blend in a little, and it's okay. It makes it more antique looking. So I think I'm just gonna keep going and tell myself it's gonna be okay. And this is Parchment Weeks Dye Works Swagart that I got at Sassy Jack's. And I'm kind of bummed I missed out on I missed the post about the Mary Frame from Sassy Jack's. She had a Cyber Monday sale for that sampler, but it's okay. I'll get it eventually. Just won't be 50% off. But these are all Weeks Dye Works threads. The sampler's really pretty. So that I worked on, and then Brenda, I still feel like I have a fuzz. Anyway, Brenda and the Serial Starter, Brenda Sampler Stitcher, finished her beautiful Mary Good by Sassafras. And I bought the pattern when I was at Sassy Jack's. And I had it all kitted up, ready to go, so I went ahead and started it. And this is an old dye lot of vintage lentil by Lakeside Linens that I've had in my stash forever. And it's perfect for it. But I got all the outside border finished, and then started on that little bottom flowers, strawberry border. Colors are so pretty, so bright. That little lion, is it a lion or a cat? Anyway, very pretty. And this is Auvert Soie d'Alger, and I actually had a lot of these already in my stash, amazingly. So I didn't have to buy too many. But very pretty colors. So that's mainly all the stitching I worked on. Ann Rayner and then Ann Roberts, which I sold. And basically for Ann Roberts, I had gotten the border done, or most of the border, and then a few little motifs and stuff. And then just realized it wasn't for me right now. Maybe in the future. Okay, so stash. I did get a little stash. I placed an order with 123 Stitch. And I got Scarlet House, Mary Holly 1808. And I love this. She did this for a class piece, and I loved it right when I saw it. So I got that and the linen, 36 count, picture this plus ale. And I went ahead and pulled the MPI silks. And I thought they were more red, but they're a little more rust. But that's okay. They're still very pretty. Like that teal. So that will be a future start. And I also ordered, of course I don't have it. Hold on. Sorry about that. So I also ordered Sarah Stewart Hardman by Needlework Press. And this is the companion piece to Anne Rayner. So if you're having trouble finding Anne Rayner, this sampler is actually very close to Anne Rayner. Same funky people, same little sheep, same houses, exact same. This is the same. This bird is the same. Fruit basket's kind of the same. Same peacock. So a lot of the same elements from Anne Rayner are in here. So must have been from the same school or same, probably not same family. Never know, but probably not. So anyway, yeah, but after stitching all those little sheep on Anne Rayner, I won't be stitching this anytime soon. But anyway, so yeah, a lot of the motifs in here are same as Anne Rayner. So this is still available. 1, 2, 3 Stitch and other shops. So I got that. Those two, and then I've been kind of kitting things. So Mary Cook, $17.95, which after seeing Carol Saltbuck Stitcher finish this, I went ahead and I had it. I went ahead and kitted it up, and I actually got a different cut of linen than what I had. So I got this at Fire Poppies, my new L&S. I got this linen there, and of course I can't remember what it's called. I think it's maybe Stars Hollow Blend 40 count, but it's a very, very pretty neutral by R&R. The other linens I was thinking about were a little too dark, and I didn't want, like these yellow, I didn't want them to get lost in the linen. So that is a future start. And I know many of you have watched Carol's video, and my heart just goes out to their whole family with what her daughter's going through. So young, and she was diagnosed with colon cancer. And I let her know I have a coworker who has just gone through all the treatments, finished her last surgery, and is doing wonderful. So I hope for that same, you know, I hope she has that same. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is I hope that Carol's daughter has a full recovery, a speedy recovery. And my coworker definitely had her struggles, but she is doing great now, and I really hope that for Carol's daughter in the future. I know it won't be easy. And Tracy Riffle, who is going back to designing Hands to Work, posted a link to her GoFundMe page, and I will post a link also. I haven't donated yet, but I plan to very soon. I just can't even imagine what they're going through right now. So anyway, this future start, so pretty. And speaking of Tracy Riffle, Hands to Work, I have one of her old patterns. I've had this forever. And I've actually had the linen for it forever. I don't know if you can see. It's called The Littles. It says 3 little pin pillows, a little love, a little hope, and a little peace. And it just uses Gentle Arts. So, you can see it says The Littles. I can't even tell you, this is probably at least 13, maybe 12 years old. but I went ahead and kitted it up because I've always wanted to stitch these. They're so sweet. So to know that she's coming back to designing, I'm so excited about. I was able to see a trunk show of hers at the Golden Needle in Florida, and she has some amazing pieces, so excited for that. So when I was at Fire Poppies, I also kitted up, got the rest of the threads I was needing for Merry Old Soul. And I was thinking of getting the 46 count Confederate Gray, but I just found a piece of, I think this is vintage fawn, 40 count vintage fawn that I had in my stash, I think. I think that's what it is. So I think that's what I'm going to stitch that on. And then also from Fire Poppies, I got some threads for this sampler. This one. By Blackboard Designs, and it's Our Lasting Friendship, and you put all your stitching friends' initials in there, and I think that would be so much fun to do. So I got some threads I was needing, and I'm thinking of 40 count Legacy to stitch this on. So, I don't know why I'm in such a kitting mood lately. And this one actually, I went to see my mom for Thanksgiving, so that was really nice. I saw both my brothers and their kids. It was a lot of fun. This is Harriet Brown Redwork Sampler Pinky. And I actually had bought this, given it to my mom because she fell in love with it. But I think she's kind of decided she's not going to be stitching anymore. So this is 40 count parchment, not Zweigart. And the called for Gentle Arts. I'm still on the fence if I'm gonna keep this fabric, stitch it on this, and just deal with it that it's not Zweigart, or sell it and get the good stuff. I feel like I'm off the edge here. So also at Fire Poppies, I'm not sure if I showed this last time. I don't think I did. I got Ann Thomas, 1854. And I think it was stitched on vintage exemplar. So I have a piece of 40 count vintage exemplar that I was thinking of using for Mary Cook, but I think would work great for this. And I think I want to get the silks for it. I just love it. It's so pretty. It's so different. And I think it would look really pretty with the other samplers I have. So, future, maybe Christmas present, get the silks. So, hold on. This I had kitted with DMC, Elizabeth Weston. Such a pretty sampler. And this picture just doesn't do it justice. So, I originally was going to stitch it with DMC, and the DMC are very pretty. Nothing wrong with DMC at all. And I was going to do it on this straw. That's my little start. It's very, very pretty. But I think I'm gonna get the silks. Actually, let me be honest. I ordered the silks for it. They haven't come yet. They said they were delivered. They were not delivered. They better not be lost. I will be so sad. I will be crying. It says give it 24 hours. It says it was delivered last night at 7:30. It was not delivered last night at 7:30. So I went on there to do like a, hey, this is not here, and they said wait 24 hours. I'm sure it's still at the post office because before that, previously, it said it was going to be delivered Monday. It's at the post office, I'm sure. So fingers crossed. My silks are not lost. So I think I'm going to stitch this also on 40 count vintage exemplar, because I have a big enough piece, and I think they use 36 count vintage exemplar for this. It doesn't say, but I think that's what it is. So another future start when I do get the silks. So so excited about the Uffendale Sisters being released by Hands Across the Sea. I think it was a very good decision. Probably because I didn't get in on the original release. I missed out on that. So very excited everyone will be able to stitch them and get those charts. I've been collecting silks for them. I went down to Florida, and my mom, even though I told her please don't give me birthday money, she insists on giving me birthday money. So my birthday was November 1st. So I did get a few silks at Silk Road Needle Art. I've already put them away, but they're so beautiful. So beautiful. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I do have a little knitting to share. So about, let's see, before Halloween, middle of October, my son told me he has a girlfriend. Her name is Amelia. She's very cute, very shy. She doesn't really talk to me much, but it's okay. So I decided to start knitting her a hat for Christmas. And this is the sockhead hat pattern. And I got all the ribbing. It's like 4 inches of ribbing and then 6 inches of stockinette. So it's going to be a lot of just stockinette stitching. And it's supposed to be a little slouchy. But the yarn I'm using is Twisted Owl. And it's called Technicolor Cowgirl. And Jake picked it out. So it's so cute. It's so much fun to knit for a girl. And I used 2.75 millimeter needles on the ribbing. And then I'm using 3 millimeter needles on the rest of the hat. And I'm doing it magic loop because I didn't have 16-inch cables. So improvised. Use what I have. And this is my Pearl Soho bag. I love this bag. So cute. And I haven't really worked on my socks much. I've just kind of been stitching, and then I worked on this a couple days. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I do have some Christmas things like I started last year. Peppermint and holly. That's all I did last year. I think this is 36 count Twilight by Picture This Plus. So I'm thinking of getting back to that. This one is another one I started maybe 2 years ago that I should get back to. I just have a teeny tiny little start on this. It's so tiny. A tree and some tree trunks. That's it. So yeah, those would be cute. My husband, I told you guys last time, he's in DC working. He did come home one weekend, and I'm going there next weekend to see him. So it's good we've been able to see each other, but he forgot to get Christmas stuff down in the garage. And I could probably do it, but I just have this vision of me on a ladder and everything just falling. I don't know. Like, I know I could do it, but I don't want to. So I'm not going to decorate for Christmas this year. I know I sound like a Scrooge, a Grinch, but it's just difficult with him being gone, and then I'd have to put it all away on my own, and I'm I'm just not going to do it this year. I might get a few things out, some pillows, some ornaments, you know, maybe put them in bowls. But as far as like Christmas tree, it's not happening this year. But we are going to Florida. My mom has a tree. My mother-in-law will have a tree. My dad and stepmom will have a tree. So it's not like they're not going to have Christmas. My kids will have Christmas. It just won't be at home. And my neighbors were putting up their lights, and I felt kind of guilty, but it'll be okay. 1 year, it will be okay. So I think that's it for now. I'm going to get back to Ann Rayner. I'm so excited to get up to those alphabets, and then I'll be done. I'm so excited. Definitely would like to get this one framed. It would be fun to get it framed at Total Framing. I could go meet the famous, their name's Sherry and Terry. I could go meet them in Fairfax. But anyway, I hope you guys, I'm sure I won't be back until the new year, so I hope you guys have a great Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, happy New Year, and I will talk to you later. Bye.